So, Hare Krishna, this is kṛṣṇadaasa. Welcome you all. Before we begin, let's quickly say the mantra to God. Let's try this one. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya.
Om Namo Narayanaya.
Excellent. Happy to see you all again. So, today we are going to have the revision of chapter 2, Shlokas 1 to 44. This is what we have covered so far. So, let's start with the revision. You're all ready? Okay. So the first question, what are the four topics covered by Krishna in chapter 2? Dipali ji, you want to answer?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. 1 minute. I'm just opening my notes. Here we go. Yeah. So what are the four topics covered by Krishna in chapter 2? That's my question. So the answer is the four most important topics covered by Krishna are the first topic is on Arjuna Sarangati. That means total surrender of Arjuna from verses 1 to 10. Now, here is where Arjuna accepts his position as a disciple of Lord Krishna and taking complete of him, requests Lord to instruct him in how to dispel his lamentation and grief. And this is in the context of where the war has started and where Arjuna has to face his own cousins and his own teacher Bhishma and all of those senior people, and he's in a confused state of mind, and that's where he surrenders to God and asks God to guide him. The second topic is on Jnana Yoga, which is also part of Samkhya Yoga for verses 11 to 38. Now, what is Jnana Yoga? Jnana Yoga is the path of knowledge and self-realization in the Bhagavad Gita. It is this path of self-control or nishkama karma, renunciation of the fruits of action. That's what is going to be covered in Jnana Yoga. The third topic is Karma Yoga or the Yoga of Action, verses 39 to 53. Now, Karma Yoga can be described as a practice of selfless action performed for the benefit of others. It also can be described as a way to attain moksha or spiritual liberation through the practice of work. The fourth topic is Sthita Prajna Laksha Nani. The traits of those who are steady mind and wisdom, verses 54 to 72. It also means the characteristics of the man of perfection in chapter 2, from verses 55 to 72. The Lord gives Arjuna the answer to his questions, that what are the qualities of a fulfilled person. And these 18 verses act like a lighthouse to us in the ocean of samsara, reminding us of the goal that each one of us has to reach.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Very well covered. Nice summary. One of the key things to keep in mind here is Arjuna Sharanagati, because Arjuna was treating Krishna as just a friend initially. And as long as Arjuna was treating Krishna as a friend, they were only having a debate. But once Arjuna surrenders and he says, I accept you as a guru, that is when the actual philosophy of Krishna comes into place. So, this is important for us because we have to approach Krishna with that mindset of surrender, and that is when his knowledge will make sense to us. Thank you so much. The next question, what does the word Sthita Pragya mean? And what is the importance of being Sthita Pragya? Dipali, it's yours again.
Yeah. So, Sthita Pragya is a word which is unique to the Gita. It's broken up into two parts. Sthita means established, and Pragya means our wisdom or our intellect. A Sthita means a person whose state of mind is very balanced, who is undisturbed even in the face of calamities while actively performing their duties. It is very easy to have a balanced state of mind for those who have renounced everything and who can spend all their lives in the caves and the mountains. However, Sri Krishna is referring to a person who is actively involved in the struggles of daily life, who is actively performing their duties, and is yet able to maintain a balanced state of mind. And this is all the state of mind we all must strive to attain. I also would like to add my personal understanding of Sthita means stable, and Pragya means a frame of mind. It's very difficult to keep control of our mind at any given point of time, as it has hundreds of thoughts going on. And in this situation, be it good or bad, gets us pulled in that direction. So it is in these times that we need to be very stable and balanced state of mind, which also means we should not have any attachments and no aversions. And with this stable of mind, we're able to think clearly and are able to overcome our weaknesses. The moment we're able to overcome our weaknesses leads to overcome our fears, and this makes us fearless. In order to grow spiritually, we need to be fearless and compassionate. And these are the two strong virtues which Krishna wants his devotees. And this is what he will be covering more greater in chapter 12. And another very important point to note and remember in Bhagavad Gita is not this book is not on the war. This is a book on human development and fulfillment.
Thank you, Deepaji. Very nice summary. And I think you have touched upon some very key points. First of all, although Bhagavad Gita is part of Vedanta, the verse Sthita Pragya is specific to Bhagavad Gita, as she rightly mentioned. The other thing is, we discussed the example of a horse. So, a wild horse, if it is mad and if it is jumping around, there is no way you can train it. You have to first quieten the horse. You have to make it calm. Only then it will start listening to your instructions. Our mind is like that. We cannot train our mind if it is not calm. That is why Krishna emphasizes the need to become a Sthita Pragya. And he will give a lot of teachings and a lot of techniques on how to reach that stage. But that stage is important to evolve spiritually. Very nice. Third question, can you explain the right way to coach others as demonstrated by Krishna, and also his views on what is the right form of non-violence?
Yes, Guruji. So in chapter 2, it has been highlighted that Arjuna does not want to fight that war. He does not want to kill his elders, his family members like Bhishma and Drona. It is at this stage that Krishna tells Arjuna that this behavior of manliness does not suit him. This point to be taken, unmanliness, does not suit him. The point to be taken from this is that we cannot run away from our problems and we must learn to face them, otherwise they will keep chasing us. Also, rather than criticizing, finding faults, and highlighting the negatives, as per Krishna, we should always encourage our juniors and peers. We should speak motivating words. We should encourage them. We should strengthen them as a person and say something like, "You're such an intelligent person," and this kind of behavior, if they're not doing well or something, and kind of keep motivating them and say that you have to move forward. This will do wonders to the other person and actually help them overcome their weakness without feeling low about themselves. And this should be a way of life. We should practice this daily with everything that we do. And I've taken that additional efforts, like what is the exact meaning of Chudram Hridaya Daubalyam? It also means is give up petty weaknesses of heart and arise. And Krishna explanation on non-violence. Now Krishna tells Arjuna that he should fight for these are the reasons he should fight for. One is, it is his duty. It is his dharma to fight because he was born a warrior. He was born a member of a warrior caste, and his duty to his caste and the divine structure of a society are more important than what he personally feels. Violence only affects the body and cannot harm the soul. So killing is not a fault, and there is no reason for Arjuna not to kill people, nor should he be sorry for those he has killed. And behind this lies the Eastern idea, the Hindu idea that life and death are part of an illusion and that the spirit is what matters.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you so much. So, how do we coach others? So, everybody has weaknesses and strengths. Now, when we were children in school, we had this quiz. They will draw a line on the board and they will say, how do you make this line longer? Now, there are two ways to make that line longer. First way is go draw a shorter line next to it. Then you can say, now this line is longer. Or the second is extend that line itself, right? So what Krishna is saying, or Krishna is leading by example, is highlight the strengths. So he's telling Arjuna, this kind of behavior does not suit you. So in fact, he's telling Arjuna that he's better than what he's behaving. And that is a hint for us. When we are trying to coach others, let us highlight the strengths rather than trying to highlighting their weaknesses. Excellent point. Non-violence, it's a very simple concept. The same concept later on Mahatma Gandhi also copied. Is non-violence is a virtue only when it comes from a position of strength. So if you know that you can harm the person in front of you, but then you choose not to harm that person, that is non-violence coming from a position of strength. But if you are afraid of the other person, and if you think that other person is much stronger than you and you are weak, and then you are saying, I'm not going to hit that person, that is not non-violence. That is just cowardice. So all Krishna is saying is have strength and practice non-violence from that mindset. Thank you so much, Deepaji. Hare Krishna. So the next question, can you describe the turning point in Arjuna's life? And can you describe the verse and significance of his surrender? Ekanshji, you want to answer this?
Yes, Prabhuji. As as we were told in the starting of the Bhagavad Gita, that Arjuna was in a state where he was in completely puzzled. He was in a dilemma. He was having an analysis paralysis. He was having mental diarrhea. So in that state, he was not able to think a little, and he was not reminded of his duties. So in this, in which he was overpowered, in this phase, he was overpowered by his emotion and was feeling weak. So, as he was completely puzzled and at present he had no clue about his duty, so Arjuna in this verse approaches Krishna as Jagat Guru, his spiritual master, where Syaste Ham means disciple, Syas means disciple, Te means your, and Ham means I am. That means Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna, is letting him know that I am your disciple now. I'm not assuming you as my friend. I completely surrender you because I'm so in a mental diarrhea. I can't handle it on myself. So here the biggest thing is that he accepts that his emotions has been overpowered, and he cannot overcome his emotion. So he needs the help of a guru. So he approaches the expert, who is the Jagat Guru of Krishna, to remind his duties. Similarly, to understand the Bhagavad Gita, we need to first surrender to Lord Krishna before we try to gain the knowledge or get the valuable things out of the Bhagavad Gita. It is very important to surrender to the spiritual guru. This will also help you to set aside your pride.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. So the
I also
concept,
have my one example.
yes.
This verse also explain why having guru is important, because in today's era many people debate why guru is important. We have further knowledge and very so here and as Guruji told us before in our other classes, that without having a guru you cannot cross this worldly ocean. It is also important to have full faith on the guru and believe in his ways. Whatever he is doing is correct for you without doubting him a little. Like whatever he is doing is good for us because he can see bigger picture of our life, but we as human have limited vision ability. Shraddha and Saburi are the most important characteristics that every bhakt need to develop within themselves.
Hare Krishna. Beautiful answer. Thank you so much. So yes, this is a lesson for all of us, is the knowledge doesn't matter how deep the knowledge is. If our learning has to be complete, then we have to approach the knowledge the right way. See, the very practical example I can give is we all go to temples and we pray to an idol, but practically that idol is a piece of stone. So if you just say it is just a piece of stone, then there is going to be no devotion. There is going to be nothing. There's nothing going on there. You are just looking at it as a piece of stone, right? The magic happens only when you look at that as an instrument of God. You try to see God in that. Then the magic happens. And sometimes you actually see miracles happen in your life. It was the same stone. It is not that the stone became miraculous. What changed was your approach to that stone. When you were in a mode of surrender, when you were opening your heart, when you were humble, that is when God's grace came to you through that stone. The Guru is the same way. When we approach the Guru in a certain way, with surrender and humility, then whatever is being taught, that knowledge will have a transformational effect on us. That is what Krishna and Arjuna, they are teaching us by example. So let's keep that in mind. Let's go to the next one. What is the biggest negative quality that we need to overcome in order to reach Krishna, and why? Ekansh?
Thank you, Guruji. The biggest negative quality that an individual needs to overcome in order to grow in Krishna consciousness is to overcome his pride and ego. Most of the individuals are so lost into the pride of doing things, they believe that they are the only ones who perform the duties. Or it could be said that they believe that they are the only the doer. But whereas thinking like this is completely wrong, as we need to realize that everything is related to Krishna and he is the only one, he is the only doer, as well as we can also see many people who chant the name of Krishna still cannot calm their mind because they have not set aside their ego and pride. They think that they are the one who are taking his name, whereas they have to look upon it like that Krishna has given this opportunity to them where they can take his name. Similarly, if you help somebody or do good for somebody, never expect anything back. In addition to this, also never forget to thank Krishna that he provided you with this opportunity to help somebody. He used you as an instrument to to help somebody and put a smile on some other face.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Very good. So it's the same concept. The concept is God's grace is always there. God's grace is present everywhere. It is available to everybody. Are we receiving that grace is the question. And why don't we receive the grace? See, it's like a light bulb. You have to attach it to the socket if you want the bulb to glow, if the electricity has to reach the bulb. But let us say there is a piece of wood in between the light bulb and the socket. The bulb is never going to get that electricity. Now, no matter what you do, I mean, you can get a better bulb, you can paint the bulb, you can change the light switch, you can do a million things. But until that piece of wood is removed, that bulb is never going to get the electricity. Just like that, our pride and ego is like that piece of wood which is stuck between us and the grace of God. As long as we don't remove that, the grace of God is not going to reach to us. That is why Sri Krishna, he has taught us and reiterated many times that the pride and ego, they are the number one impediments and we have to deal with them. So in the previous question, you spoke about Guru, how Arjuna surrendered, because when Arjuna surrendered, he was taking care of his ego. He was keeping his ego aside. That was the act of surrender. That is why Krishna keeps repeating in the Bhagavad Gita a few times that surrender unto me. It is not that you are trying to, it is not that you are trying to make Krishna feel good. It is that you are trying to open yourself up by an act of surrender. So, number one, always check your pride, check your ego, and be assured that they are the main impediments. And if we can take care of them, our spiritual progress happens very quickly. What is the significance of Arjuna addressing Krishna as Madhusudana and Krishna addressing Arjuna as Pandita? Ekanshji?
Thank you, Guruji. First, we will discuss about why Arjuna addressed Krishna as Madhusudana. Madhu here refers to a demon, Madhu, who was killed by Vishnu avatar Hayagriva. Hayagriva was an avatar in which Lord Vishnu manifested himself as a beautiful horse incarnation. Similarly, here in the first place, Arjuna knew that Krishna is an avatar of the Supreme Lord, that is Vishnu, and he has full faith in him that Krishna, being Supreme Personality, can destroy his grief and ignorance. So Arjuna is requesting Lord Vishnu to kill all the doubts in his mind as he killed the demon Madhu and make his mind calm, which is free from all the fears. Now, we will discuss why Krishna called Arjuna as Pandita. In verse 11, according to Lord Krishna, Arjuna is spiritually advanced person who has a great intellect knowledge. But due to excessive knowledge, Arjuna got confused whether his course of actions were right or wrong. This created a situation in which Arjuna lacked the ability to make right decisions. So Krishna advised him to calm his mind. It is like Krishna is also telling Arjuna that it is not how Panditas think. You must be now think clearly and act properly.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yeah, by addressing Krishna as Madhusudana, they are acknowledging that Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu. Excellent. And Pandita,
And he
Arjuna is
also
talking.
taunted him.
Yes. So, Arjuna is talking like a Pandita. So, Krishna is reminding him that you are talking like one, but you're not acting like one. Okay. So, excellent. Thank you so much, Ekanji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
What is the
Krishna.
first pragma of Lord Sri Krishna? Why is it important? Alapji?
So Hare Krishna. Also, in this one, it's basically stating to us that we should not feed our inner saboteur or the negative emotions that come through in handling everyday challenges. Rather, we should recognize them, confront them, and win over it. This is very important in a way that it helps us to succeed spiritually in this materialistic world.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. So, yes, we all have a good voice and a bad voice. We have learnt it for years since childhood. That saboteur is the bad voice. Like, you have to get up and do meditation, let us say, but there will be a bad voice which will say, it doesn't matter, let's sleep today. What's the big deal? You know? So that is the inner saboteur. It's always there. It's always trying to distract us. So we have to be aware of that and we have to catch it in action. Okay. And it is important not just for spiritual progress, it is also important for material progress. Okay. What lesson do we learn about wealth through Mahabharata, Alapji?
So regarding wealth, we should be very careful from whom we accept monetary help, because otherwise we might be obliged in a way to help those people who might not even be on the side of dharma. They might be on the side of adharma. So in first place, we should try and avoid taking money or wealth. However, if we take health, it should be people from who are on the side of the dharma side.
Excellent. Because in Mahabharata it is said that men are servants of money and money can create bondage. So if you see all the great souls like Dronacharya, Kripacharya, they are all such great souls. Bhishma, they all had accepted some kind of favor somewhere and that bound them. And that was one of the reasons they had to continue serving the Kurus rather than the Pandavas. So, the excellent point. We have to be very careful from whom we seek monetary guidance, monetary help. First of all, try to avoid, but if you have to get monetary help, be very careful who we are taking it from. Otherwise, it will put us into bondages with the wrong kind of people. Thank you again, Alapji. Much appreciated. You are very new in the class and still you took the initiative and jumped right in. So, may
Thank you.
Krishna
Hare
continue to
Krishna.
bless you. Hare Krishna. What does Krishna say about calmness of mind? Can you also quote and explain Krishna's second pragma, Suchita ji?
Hare Krishna Guruji. Krishna says achieving mukti is possible only when we are able to maintain calmness of our mind. This doesn't mean that we become totally emotionless. It is okay to feel happy or sad. We shouldn't get too excited in good times or too agitated during bad times. The easiest way to achieve this is to always tell ourselves that even this will pass. This applies to both good as well bad times and will help us stay grounded and calm under all situations.
Thank you very
When
much.
yeah, when we are feeling very emotional, regardless of whatever it is, positive or negative emotions, do not say or do anything impulsively. The great Saint Sai Baba of Shirdi gives us the secret of handling all the ups and downs in life in just two words: Shraddha and Saburi. Have the faith in yourself and in the Lord, and practice patience. And according to Krishna's second pragma, a calm mind is essential for liberation. Learn to handle pain and pleasure calmly. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Suchita ji, when you get a couple of minutes, please add that last part to your answer. in the notes so that we can share it with everybody.
Yes,
Yeah, very
Guruji, I will do that. I will
very
do that.
important. That calm mind, as you say, Krishna is very methodically teaching about the importance of a calm mind. And a very practical suggestion I can give all of us, including me, I practice it many times. And for all of you, is I call it practicing the pause. So there is a situation which makes you very excited, or it makes you very angry, or it makes you anything. You're very emotional. You get very emotional with a particular situation. You're going to respond now, right? Just pause. Whatever your response is, pause for like maybe just 3 seconds, pause for 5 seconds. That will make a huge difference. That will make sure that your responses are not controlled by your emotions, because this gives rise to a lot of problems. And Krishna will go on to say later on that negative emotions, when they make us react in a certain way, almost always that generates bad karma. What is bad karma? That is what is bad karma. Bad karma is you go and do something wrong. Why did you do something wrong? There was an emotion behind that, because you chose to respond to a negative emotion. See, that is why practicing the pause is a very powerful exercise that we should all try and follow. Thank you. Can you explain the concept of Sat and Asat? And can you relate that with the story of Yudhishthira explaining what he finds most surprising in his answer to the Yaksha? Suchita ji?
Yes. The term Sat and Asat means true and false, and they also means real and unreal. Asat is ever changing and Sat is never changing. The physical body and everything we practice via our physical senses are Asat because they are never changing. And
Ever
so,
changing.
ever changing, yeah. So we should not cling on to these temporary things. The greatest means Yaksha asked to Yudhishthir, what is the greatest wonder in the world? So Yudhishthir said, every day men see creatures depart to yamas about, and yet these those who remain sick to live forever. This verily is the greatest wonder. Means death is the ultimate truth of the human body. So death is Sat, and our human body is Asat, which is ever changing. Everyone lives in full cognizance of this fact. Yet, most of the human beings live with the illusion of immortality. However, this illusion is not true only about mortality, but any undesirable event in life.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you remember the story, the Yaksha is asking Yudhishthira, Kim Ashcharyam? What makes you most surprised? And Yudhishthira says, people are dying every day, but we always feel like death happens to somebody else. It doesn't happen to us. So the message there is we have to acknowledge and understand that this body is Asat. And what is Sat is the soul. Excellent. What are the 5 causes of suffering as per Vedanta? Which one is the most important? Suchita ji?
Yeah, Vedanta tells us that there are 5 causes of suffering. Number 1, not knowing who we are. Number 2, attachment, means clinging to things that are impermanent and having expectations. Aversion. Number 3, trying to avoid things that are not real. Number 4, identifying with the ego and creating separate realities. Number 5, fear of death. So Vedanta also gives us the solutions to overcome them. It tells us that by correcting the first cause and realizing who we really are, all other causes will no longer impact us. Hare
Excellent.
Krishna.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Suchita ji. So correct. So Vedanta tells us that the first flaw, the first cause of suffering is ignorance, avidya. And Vedanta says that that becomes the cause of all other problems. And that is one of the reasons why Bhagavad Gita is so crucial, because Bhagavad Gita helps us get rid of that ignorance. What are the 4 paths of yoga, and which is the preferred path in this yoga? Why? Is it going to be Banushri or is it Srijit?
Srijan.
Srijan. Okay. Hello, Srijan.
Hello, Hare Krishna, everyone. The 4 paths of yoga are Bhakti Yoga, which is the yoga of devotion and complete faith on God. Jnana Yoga, which is a yoga of acquiring knowledge, Karma Yoga, which is yoga of doing actions, and Raja Yoga. Like a king who completely controls his kingdom, a Raja Yogi controls his mind and body. Bhakti Yoga is the preferred path in this yoga because when we have the complete devotion and faith on God, then only we can accept His teaching and accept His teaching. Yes, sir.
Excellent. Correct answer. Thank you so much. So yes, Bhakti Yoga is the preferred path. Krishna himself goes on to say that in Kali Yuga, Bhakti Yoga is the easiest. Because, for example, if you want to be a Raja Yogi, you need a certain kind of fitness, certain kind of strength. But in Kali Yuga, men usually don't have that much strength, women, men, both. And even Jnana Yoga is very difficult. So Krishna will say Bhakti Yoga is the easiest to follow. What is one of the key lessons we learned about based on the temporary nature of everything in Prakriti? Srijanji?
Yes. Anything cannot stay at the same place permanently in nature. Like the air we breathe, it has to get in and get out to make room for new air. Same goes for the food we eat and the water we drink. And especially it is applicable to the negative emotions. We shouldn't keep them inside for too long. We have to throw them out to make room for fresh positive emotions. Otherwise, we are bound to get unhealthy and sick.
Very good. Very concise and correct answer. Thank you so much, Srijanji. So
Hare
let us
Krishna.
all make a quick check. Let us check our own heart and see and ask, do I have any negative emotion inside, pent up? If you find something, replace it. Replace it with a positive emotion because that negative emotion is only going to make us sick. Okay? And that is a law of nature, Prakriti. Can you explain the many bodies that we have? Why is it important to understand this, Sujata ji?
Hare Krishna everywhere. So we have three bodies: Stula body, which is a gross body, Sukshma body, which is a subtle body, and Karana body, which is the causal body. So gross body relates to the physical body and that is the one that is destroyed after the death. Subtle body is described as a connection between the physical body and the spiritual body. It is composed of mind and energy, and it is not destroyed. Causal body is the cause of an individual to exist. The Karana Sharira exists as a seed waiting to be manifested. So, why is it important? So, just as life is temporary, death is also temporary. We should understand this and stop having so much attachment to our gross body. We should not. We should get over the fear of death and strive hard to attain liberation through devotional service of God.
Very good. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. What do we mean by sanskara? Can you explain this in detail, Sujata ji?
Samskara comes from the Sanskrit word sama, which means complete or connected together, and kara, which means cause of action. Samskara are the basis of the development of karma. Every conscious action we perform creates an impression in our subconscious mind and forms the basis of inner drives that influence and affect future actions. The intent behind the action determines how strong these impressions are, and these impressions are termed as samskaras. Samskaras influence our thoughts and actions, and our actions in turn create our karma. So they make sure that we ourselves experience what we do unto others. This is the secret behind the saying, as you sow, so shall you reap. So take care of your thoughts as they will take care of your samskaras. Take care of your samskaras as they will take care of your karma. Only then you can get to the path of liberation.
Excellent. Correct answer. Very nice. Thank you so much, Sujata ji. So true. The thing to keep in mind is samskaras, they are like the universal police that we carry within ourselves. We don't need an external police, external cop, because sanskaras are two-sided. So if you have a sanskara to steal, you will also have a sanskara to get stolen from. That is the law. You cannot escape. That is why we have to be very careful on, as Sujata ji rightly pointed out, be careful about your thoughts, because they eventually become responsible for your sanskaras, and your sanskaras determine your destiny pretty much. Very nice. What are the 3 types of karmic accounts that we carry? Can you explain with examples, Rajesh ji?
Hare Krishna, everyone. There are 3 kinds of karma: Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, and Kriyamana karma. Sanchit karma is accumulation of our karmas across all our past lives. Prarabdha karma is a portion of that Sanchit karma that is responsible for our current lives and bearing fruits in this current life. And the third one, Kriyamana karma, is our karmas of this current life, which will bear fruits either in this current life or the future lives. There is a good, beautiful analogy in Vedic literature around that. It goes like this: the bowman has already sent an arrow and it has left his hands. He cannot recall that arrow. He is about to shoot another arrow. In this case, the bundle of arrows in the quiver of his back is called Sanchita karma. The arrow he has shot is a Prarabdha karma, and the arrow is about to shoot is our Kriyamana karma. So the bowman has a perfect control over Sanchita karma and Kriyamana, but he must experience Prarabdha, which is already in motion and cannot be avoided. So our good deeds that are aligned with Dharma will translate into positive karmas, while bad actions will become negative karmas. We must bear the fruits of these good and bad karmas in our current life or the future life as part of the Sanchit karma.
Thank you, Rajesh ji, and appreciate you adding an example as well. So yeah, Sanchita karma is your master account. Throughout your countless births and throughout your existence, whatever you have gathered, it is your Sanchita karma. But then when you are born in this particular life, how much you want to handle, how much of karma you want to deal with, that is your Prarabdha karma. And the new karma you generate in this life using your own free will is Kriyamana karma. And as Rajesh ji rightly pointed out, the Kriyamana karma is entirely in our control, whether we generate new karma or bad karma. Because the Prarabdha karma and Sanchita karma, they are already happened. So you have to deal with them. But the Kriyamana karma, using that, you can even offset some of your Prarabdha karma. So that is the science behind karma. What are the 3 steps required to process any spiritual knowledge and purify the mind? Can you explain each with an example, Rajesh ji?
Yes. So the 3 steps are Shravan, Manan, and Nididhyasan. Shravan is hearing or reading the divine knowledge. Manan is about deeply thinking and introspecting about the divine knowledge. And Nididhyasan is developing for belief and conviction in God and this divine knowledge. As an example, when we read the Bhagavad Gita or any spiritual literature, or the way we are attending this Bhagavad Gita satsang right now, what we are doing is Shravan. Then we need to introspect what we learned, what we read, what we heard, right? And deeply think about that. That is Manan. And the third is we should have a complete faith in what we learn, the divine knowledge, and importantly, we should practice it in our daily life with conviction, right? Then that's a Nididhyasan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Very well explained. So true. This satsang we are sitting, learning, that is our Shravan. And when you all participate in revision, that is an excellent opportunity to do Manan because hopefully it's making you think, it's making you introspect. And so a guru can help you with Shravan and Manan, but Nididhyasan, it is only partly the guru can help. The other part, it is entirely in your hands, whether you actually practice those teachings. But yeah, we take baby steps, but as long as our steps are consistent, it will purify us. So thank you again. What did we learn about Maya? Can you explain with some examples, Lakshmi ji?
Hare Krishna.
Hare
One
Krishna.
second. Yeah. Maya is made of two words. Ma, not, and ya is what is. Does Maya means that which is not and what is appears to be. Most of us have turned away from God, and it is Maya's job to make us to all turn towards God too. Maya is darkness and God is light. Maya is the power of the Lord. Maya is without beginning, is made of three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. Maya is neither exist, non-exist, or not partaking of both characters. From Rig Veda to Bhagavad Gita, the meaning changes from skill, power, magic, and illusion, depending on what context the Maya is being used. The further we turn away from God, the further we will be tormented by Maya. Even the greatest of saints have fallen victim of Maya. She is extremely powerful and persistent. The only way to overcome Maya is by total surrender to Krishna, engaging in spiritual activities and doing our duties in a detached manner. The material energy Maya is a perception created due to our ignorance, but only those who see pain and pleasure as equivalent are ready for salvation. Here Sita is described as Deva Maya. It doesn't mean Sita is just an illusion and doesn't exist. Here Prakriti is Maya in this sense. And there is an example from everyday life. If you are visiting a friend who has a dog in his house, the dog never let you in by yourself. You also got fear. You need to call your friend loudly. The friend came out and instruct the dog to be quiet and let you in. By our own efforts, we can defeat Maya. Only when we completely surrender to Krishna, by his grace, we can cross over. And I want to add one more thing, Guru Vinayakji. And then Gita was telling about the death, because we are living in this current life. This is also Maya, because we are not going to die. With the illusion we are having, that one, the death will also occurs. I think when she was telling, I was recollecting this Maya is that. So we are in the Maya, we live forever. But that is that is illusion. The one I want. Yeah, illusion. No? So that is the one. I have given that one. It's everything differ from all stages of our yugas. That's the one. Okay.
Sometimes some students send me a message. They say that I'm sorry, I felt very sleepy, so I just chose to sleep today. I will attend the Gita session next week. So that is also the influence of Maya, because we assume the next week is in our pocket. The next week is ours. How do you know? How can you be so sure that you're going to see the next week? So that is one of the sayings we used to say, Jo kal kare so aaj, jo aaj kare so ab. And as Alap ji also pointed out, the inner saboteur, that is Maya. The inner saboteur is the influence of Maya, which we have to keep a check on all the time. It's always active. It never tires. And as Lakshmi ji gave the example, Maya is very powerful. See, if you say that I will conquer Maya, what is talking is your ego. But then that is the paradox, because your ego is a manifestation of Maya. So how can you defeat Maya from that perspective? You cannot. You cannot use Maya's own tool to defeat Maya, because Maya has created the tool. Maya is stronger than the tool. So the only way to beat Maya is to first beat your own ego. And that happens when you go in the mode of surrender. So that is why even in Christianity, it is said, the meek shall inherit the earth. There is a lot of power in that kind of surrender. You surrender, and from that perspective, let God take care of Maya for you. Can you explain Krishna's assurance that spiritual progress is never lost, Lakshmi ji?
Yeah. Any progress made in the spiritual path will remain permanently with us. The context in which this phase is spoken is significant, as Arjuna is hesitant to engage in the upcoming battle, as he is worried that he may incur negative karma and fall down to lowly planets. Lord Krishna reassures Arjuna that by staying on the side of Dharma, and fulfilling his duty without attachment to the results, he will grow spiritually and there will be no loss or diminution. What is this one? I forgot.
Diminution.
In the
Reduction.
Yeah. In the material world, let us see, we studied until graduation. This is the one you told, no, I give that one, the same example. See, then we die in the next birth, we are not going to directly start the post-graduation. Instead, we will have to start again the preschool, everything. However, any spiritual progress made in this birth is carried forward into the next birth. So, spiritual knowledge and progress is the only primary goal we should have in this lifetime. A little tiny effort in the direction of devotion comes great benefit. Little consistency in your devotion takes you to the spiritual progress. Any efforts to get to know your true spiritual essence, that is preserved. Preserve your spiritual progress. Anytime, any amount of energy and time you invest in this, in your spiritual life, will give you wonderful results, not only in this life, but keep for future life too. Spiritual progress and our karmas are the only things that we carry with us across multiple births. Sri Krishna provides another wonderful assurance. Svalpam apashya dharmasya trayade magato bhayat, which means even a little of this dharma, this philosophy will save us from great fear. The phrase emphasizes that any effort aligned with dharma is worthwhile and that even the small steps can have significant impact. He encouraged Arjuna and all of us to pursue the path of meritorious and do whatever we can, even if we feel overwhelmed and unsure about our success. Furthermore, the verse implies that the practice of dharma is a form of protection from fear and suffering. By acting in accordance with moral and ethical principles, one can avoid negative consequences and cultivate inner peace and stability. This is particularly important in times of great fear and uncertainty. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Perfect.
Yeah, and the spiritual progress will be never last, means that is the one I understand. So we have to do all good. No, don't attach to the result. Always have faith in God, and you do everything in consistent.
Correct.
That is yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So a lot of us, we are worried about our retirement. We are always worried. What is going to happen once we stop earning, right? And we are saving all our life for that. But then we have to understand that this life itself is temporary. What is going to happen in the next life? Have you given a thought to that? That is more important because it is inevitable. You may not retire, but you will definitely have a rebirth. So what Krishna is saying is, take baby steps, that's okay, but be consistent. Keep working for your spiritual progress. Make the most of every possible opportunity and keep investing in your spiritual growth, because that is your retirement fund in a way, which will come with you even to the next birth. Okay, so it was a beautiful revision session. I'm very grateful and thankful to all the volunteers for spending time and coming up with answers. I'm also grateful to all the other members for sitting, listening, and encouraging. A huge round of applause to all the volunteers. Okay. So in the next session, we are going to discuss probably one of the most profound and most popular verse in the Bhagavad Gita. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all with a fresh mind in the next session. Till then, Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. And if you have any further questions, feel free to shoot a note in the WhatsApp group. I'm happy to take your questions and answer.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.